think we're at a point like I know drama sells, but I think it's old. You know, his
Yeah,
negativity.
and I see Ron's name getting drugged through the fucking mud right now, um, just due to obvious stuff, and I'll let him talk about it or not talk about it.
Yo, okay, so you know what? With that, I forget the name. I'm sorry. With the podcast with Mike, what's the name of the podcast?
With
Damn,
Mike,
the guy, Muscle Discord, Muscle Discord,
it's not Mike, is it? It's
Matt, Matt, Matt or Mike?
damn, why am I
His first
drawing a
name.
blank?
Wait,
Matt.
Matt. Okay, so yeah, I've actually had him on a podcast because when he first started, it wasn't negative. He was just like, I liked how blunt he was. Like, he said what he meant and he meant what he said. And I'm like, he's very straightforward. So I actually liked it. I was like, okay, I like it because I remember, like, let's say, we're on a podcast and we're like, Nick, I don't know if Nick can win because his waist is too wide, right? And Nick comes on a podcast and he didn't change his tune. All of a sudden, it's like, you're going to win. He was like, yeah, your waist is a bit blocky. And I'm like, I actually respect that. Like, he didn't all
Yeah,
of a sudden change.
he didn't back down just because the guy was right there in front of him.
But he wasn't disrespectful neither. He was very respectful. He also talked about his strength. So, somewhere along the line, I don't know if it was purposely done, maybe because the negativity got more views, or it's just how it evolved. I don't know, but it started getting too negative. I don't know him personally, so I've had him on the pop. I don't know him personally, man to man, but
Everything from what I saw just continued to get more personal and more personal and more personal. It's like
yeah.
the beef with because isn't Phil like the co-host of that show?
Yeah, I mean, Phil is a positive guy too. It's just
Yeah.
in that atmosphere, it doesn't work well, So I don't know. But can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So, yeah. Unfortunately, it just got too negative for my taste, and I'm sure there's a huge demographic for that likes that. But we'll cover a topic. We're not going to ignore a topic that's happening if it happens to be negative. But to have a whole podcast where it's like, I think personal attacks is a bit too. Like if he had a thing with Fuad, it was just too personal, man. It was just way too
Wait, you have a
personal.
thing with Fuad as well?
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't know
I'm
about
a
this. I just know there's Phil, Steve, and Matt, and then Bob and Sean are involved now.
yeah.
So,
Well, Bob is doing that too. You've noticed Bob has been getting more negative,
oh,
right?
he's caught a lot of heat on this one.
Yeah. Okay. What I will say though is this: if you're just completely being yourself, which I felt like that's what Matt was doing, I always respect that. Even if it
Yeah,
comes off a little hostile, as long as this is your true personality, I'm big on just being yourself. So if you just happen to be not a negative person, but if you Kane, no, no, but, but but yeah, if you're just being yourself and you happen to be very blunt, almost mean, almost like an asshole, I don't even mind that because it's just you. But I feel like sometimes it's pandering for the views, like Bob is doing. One second, let me go.
that's fine. I get it, man, because mine's laying down. They're chill. I'm not doing anything wrong right now, but there may be a point in the show I have to stop for some bullshit Tyson does as well.
Yeah, I think with the puppies, he's getting to act like a because I mean he's still a puppy. He's only what Kanan's only 15 months.
Yeah,
So, but now with the little puppies, he's acting a little more immature because he gets to act like a puppy and be all crazy.
yeah.
Whereas by himself, I check him out. I make sure he's conducting himself like a gentleman. So now he gets to run around act like a puppy. So he's starting to revert back to some puppy ways, like chewing stuff. He hasn't chewed anything for in a long time. Now he's trying to chew stuff again because he's copying puppies now. I don't know what the fuck is that. That's
We
about.
get this. I don't know what brand they are. They're on Amazon if you want me to try to send them to you later. But
Uh-huh.
they're like these indestructible toys that's specific like for dog breeds like that. That not only do they chew shit, they are very aggressive at chewing.
Yeah.
And so far, I mean, one of them will last Tyson like 3 or 4 months. But if you just go to like PetSmart or Walmart or any regular pet store and try to buy a toy for this dog, usually within a couple hours, it's done. Sometimes less.
Yeah, so I've gotten a few of those for the other dogs. Even the XL bully, who's a lot bigger than Kane. I don't think he's as strong as Kane. He's just a lot more. He's a lot taller, even more muscular. But he won't get through it. He won't get through one of those. Whereas Kane, depending on which one, usually lasts about at least a month, maybe. If it's a really good one, if it's big enough that he can't get a good bite, maybe 2 3 months.
Yeah.
But Kane is he's a real dog. He's very well behaved because I was so hard on him as a puppy to the point that I felt bad. I'm like, maybe I'm too hard on him, but I understand that everybody's different. Kane is a dog. If you allow him to be a dog, he's not a bad dog, but he won't be a good dog. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
he
Well, I mean,
he
that's
has
the
a
same with my situation too. If I don't come down hard on him, he becomes he'll get to the point where like I'll never get a visitor at my house ever again because no one will want to fuck with him.
people people don't understand it. It looks harsh, right? It's like you're outside and he wants to play with somebody, and once you see him getting fixated, you stop him. They're like, "Oh, I just want to play." I'm like, I'm sorry, but like, you just can't. Like,
Yeah,
it looks innocent, but if you let him get in that mode, you don't want him to get in that mode, and I don't want him to embarrass me. I let him play with this lady. He was off leash. She just insisted, and then he started like jumping at her and like nipping at like something in her hand, and that's dangerous because if he gets a bite of her finger's coming off, But
yeah,
this guy is like a real dog. When he was a puppy, bro, his like when let's say one of his siblings were eating, he would walk up to them and look at them, and they would look at him and walk away from food. Like he's like the one there. Like, I'm not fucking with this guy, So so
well, Tyson has this thing. He'll jump and kind of bite and nip. He's that we've actually got it under control right now,
mhm,
except there's certain things will trigger him. And this actually happened either yesterday or it was Tuesday. Sorry, it was Tuesday
mhm.
because I went sword fishing yesterday and I fucking struck out. We went, two baits got destroyed, but we didn't catch a sword. So,
Oh
uh,
man.
but anyways, one of my Frenchies, he's got a really bad habit. It's called eating shit. It's
Oh my
fucking
god.
disgusting. So I
That
caught him
that pisses
doing
me
it.
off. It pisses me off, man.
And Tyson was like out on my porch while Macho was just like in the yard trying to eat dog shit.
Mhm.
So I look up and I see it and I just bolted. I ran. Like I ran at full speed,
Mhm.
which is probably like 5 miles an hour, but still. But anyways, Tyson he could see that he could sense I was angry and he runs with me. And I didn't even notice it. I turned around, the little fucker's beside me, growling, barking, and he's jumping up and like nipping at me. And I'm like, I'm just about giving him a backhand. Like,
Yeah,
this got nothing to do with you, man. Stay on the fucking porch.
what I did because his was bad, bro. I had to throw my knee every time he goes up, but then it got to a point once he sees my knee move, he wouldn't jump. But I would throw my knee at him. I'm like, come get some if he wants some.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
mean,
throw this knee
you
at
don't like
you.
actually knee them, but you're using the
No,
knee as like
no,
a prop to like, hey, back up, get out.
exactly.
Yeah, I have to do the same thing with him, like, because otherwise they'll scratch the shit out of you.
Yeah. And then I remember he was like 4 months, maybe probably 4 5 months, and I took him to my sister's house. Um, to meet her family. She has kids. She has young kids. I want to say what, like 8 and 6 or something like that at the time. And the girl, she has a good, calm, assertive energy, even though she's the younger one. And he was completely calm with her. And then the boy, being a boy, I guess he likes to run around and jump around. But to Kane, that's like prey to him. Like he's loving it. So he kept running, and
Yeah,
he'll grab his pants, and they think, they're kids. They think it's a great time. Well, hey, look, he grabbed my pants. I'm like, oh, this is
not to
not
pull them off of you.
exactly. So for some reason, I'm like, no, don't do that. And then, his dad and mom, our sister, like, oh, that's okay. Don't worry. They're playing. I'm like, okay, so I'm keeping an eye. I should have had, I had the e-collar on, but bro, when they're in that mood, that shit doesn't do anything. The, the e-collar, like,
The electric collar.
bro, it could be on max setting. If he's in the zone, he doesn't even know. He will, and that shit is strong. He won't feel anything. So in my head, I'm like, I think that should be enough to get his attention. No, my nephew was running around. He jumped, nipped, and then grabbed his hand, like grabbed a piece of like his arm, actually, like that. And I saw him like clench. Hit the shot. They were too late. So I
Yeah.
went and grabbed him off, and he's bleeding. And I'm like, oh fuck, this is bad.
Oh, okay. So he bites hard.
Yeah, my sister freaked out for a second. Her husband, him being a guy, he wasn't tripping. He just put a band-aid on it. And she was like, really? Like, your son just got bit? It's gonna be okay. So she was pissed, and she's like, we're gonna go to ER. She freaked out a little bit, but she didn't go to ER with that. But that's just embarrassing for me. Like, I'm bringing a fucking monster around kids, and
Yeah.
it's really embarrassing. But I mean, the nephew, he didn't care. I guess being a kid, he came right back out and kept playing with him. So
Ironically, since you mentioned embarrassing, this would have been like 4, maybe 5 years ago. This was like, it kind of freaked me out because of who this happened to. I'm going to explain this. So, like Benny, my little Frenchie, he at the time, I guess Ben would have been like 2 or 3 years old. He's usually very well behaved. And when he plays with you, he'll like put his teeth on your finger, but he never actually does anything.
Mhm.
So, of all people, one of my friends, I'm going to say former clients because he's retired now. He's Canadian, and his wife is it's Krista Haynes.
Okay.
His dad is Doug Ford.
Okay.
Probably doesn't ring a bell, does it?
No, I'm not familiar.
He's the premier of Ontario, kind of like the governor of Ontario. They call it Canada.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I'm hanging out. They have some condos like in Hallandale Beach. So I'm in Hallandale. I met with Dave and Krista, and their dad was there, Doug, and he likes dogs, and he reaches down to like pet Benny because Benny is the cute little Frenchie, right? And I don't know if Ben scratched him or he bit him, but like he's bleeding from his hand, and I'm like, oh shit, Ben! Like of all people, you went and bit the fucking governor. Like congratulations, you little shit. Like I kind of freaked out for a moment because I was like, I don't know if this dude like my dog's vaccinated. We got the papers. You don't got rabies. You don't got any shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm just thinking, and he was just like, "Oh, wipe it off, Band-Aid. We're good." And I'm like, God, like because some people want to be slap happy to sue you.
Oh yeah, some people do it to you. Some people do. But the cool thing about a Frenchie is I feel like people don't freak out as much when they get bit by a Frenchie because the cuteness of the Frenchie, I guess, or the size.
Yeah, they can still be. I mean, I don't know. I read an article one time where supposedly a Frenchie killed a lady, and I'm like,
that'd be tough. But
how? Like she may have got underneath the lady's foot and she fell down and hit her head. But that's I don't foresee a French bulldog like if you can physically just like kick your leg a little bit. I mean, what the hell could a Frenchie possibly do?
I guess there's different styles of Frenchies. I've seen Frenchies that resemble more of like a Boston Terrier, like more athletic type. Those probably because once you get the Terrier name, when it comes to Terriers, it doesn't matter how small they are. Terriers are dangerous. Like a fucking what's that tiny little what's the tiny little what do you call them? The tiny little furry one, Jack Russell Terrier.
Yeah.
They're like 15 pounds, but they'll take down a coyote. They're violent. They're violent. They're aggressive.
I didn't know they were like that.
Yeah, because terriers they were meant to like hunt fox or some shit like that, right? So like as small as they are, they can attack big. They can attack big. I thought about getting a Jack Russell Terrier just because I thought it was cool to have like a small dog that could like fight back. But from what I heard, it's a nightmare. They're like demons. They're like the mind of a pit bull times 10, but tiny, but tiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. Like, I mean, right now I've got three, and that's enough for me. And I don't know. Like, eventually, dogs usually last longer than humans here. So Tyson's like in that 5 to 6 range. Benny is also 5 to 6. Macho's like 10 or 11.
Oh, you got grown
So
dogs.
yeah, I don't know how much longer he's going to have, how much gas he's got left in the tank, but I think what I'm going to wait to do is like, I'm going to need a heal. I'm going to need like a period of time for healing, obviously, if something happens.
Hmm.
This is kind of part of it, right? But I don't know if I want to go with little dogs or I want to go all out with a big dog. Like,
Yeah.
if it's a big dog, like something like the Corsos, I
Mhm.
would just do one because I don't think I can handle two of those fuckers.
I mean, I've been extremely lucky. Like my dogs are extremely well behaved, and people give me credit, and my energy, I'm sure, has something to do with it. But it's really just a luck of the draw
Yeah,
because honestly, Kane is the only one I've trained because I had to train him. I had no choice. There was no way around it. Juice is not trained whatsoever. I've never taught him any commands.
his name
He
is
just,
Juice.
yeah, the name is just, he just, he just does it. Like he sits on command. I never taught him how to sit. I'm sure he probably learned from Kane.
Yeah,
But I don't have to tell him to sit because if we're not doing anything, he sits. So if I come to a stop, he automatically sits or lays down. So it's like I take him to the gym. People won't believe he's 8 months or barely even 8 months. I take him off leash, walks with me, sits next to me, allows people to pet him like a calm dog, not like pet me and I start wagging my tail and jumping and nipping at you.
yeah,
Just sit there, pet me. If they invite him in, he comes next to them. They're like, "Wow, how did you?" I gotta be honest, I ain't do shit. That's just how he is. You
yeah. Some
know.
dogs, like my pit that passed away from cancer, he was the like epitome of perfection.
Yeah,
Like I could not have asked for. He had zero bad traits at all.
yeah, yeah.
Like, and whatever I wanted him to do, it's like I did. I never had to train him. He just did it.
Yeah, so that those are cool. I have a baby cane corso, so she's 14 weeks and she's so tiny. And I actually did some research. They start off really tiny, like they're not big puppies. They're always like super mini. You would never believe they're gonna be that big. She's
Yeah,
still like, I swear she's still like this big, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm comparing her to the other. I'm like, yeah, she's growing super slow, but she's technically she's gonna be bigger than she's gonna be taller at least than all of them, and not as dense, but she'll be taller than all of them. But she's the sweetest one. I don't have to I don't have to correct her because she responds so well. If you go, you don't have to like, oh, you don't have to get loud. You don't have to touch her.
yeah.
Just make a sound. So I think she'll be easy to handle as an adult, but you never know. Dogs change.
I
But
remember Joe was telling me his little dog Levi. I think it's a corgi.
yeah, yeah.
Like they got along great, and then all of a sudden, like I was talking to Joe because I'd always kind of laugh because every time Joe would send me pictures, Levi was in the pictures,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I said something about it. And he goes, "Well, Levi was an asshole, so I had to put him outside." Like he just randomly decided he was going to start being mean to people at like 2 years old.
I haven't been seeing Levi a lot. He switched up on him, huh?
Um,
A little
I
bit.
know he's an outdoor dog now because where he's living at with his
Yeah.
they're at Paul's place, so they don't have the German Shepherd anymore. And I just found this out like when I saw them in Texas. I had no idea.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
so Levi's outside, and I guess that's just where he stays.
Oh wow, okay, yeah. Now I also will say this: having more than one dog, if they're young enough, once they're grown, they kind of set in their ways. If they're young enough, it's like they end up being a lot better dogs because
Yeah,
first of all, they get to play off the energy. They get to train each other, teach each other right from wrong. I've seen Kane check Juice. I've seen Juice check Kane because Kane he'll run and throw his body into you. Juice doesn't like that, so he'll move, bark on him, and then Kane gets to learn. Finally, you can't do it. So it is easy. It seems harder because right now I have five, and I'm in an apartment. So this sounds insane, and they're big dogs, right? But honestly, I don't have to do shit but clean some shit here and there in the crate and take them out for walks. But it's really not that hard. First, all, I love dogs, so but it's different. But also, it's not as hard as you would think. They all get along. But once again, like I said, the lucky part, this guy at the gym was showing me a video of how he had the Corso and the Barbell, and they fought like to the death, like blood everywhere, the whole nine. I've
Corso and
never
what?
in the Barbell, which is a African Mastiff. So Corso is an Italian
Oh, okay.
Mastiff. This is the
Yeah.
African version. They're basically a little bit shorter, but bullier, like
Yeah.
dense. Yeah. So you don't want them to fight.
No.
And I'm like, my dogs
Even
have
when
never.
I'm going to go on a limb and say the Corso won, right?
Well, the Corso has a stronger bite and more athletic. More muscle isn't always like as we know. More muscle isn't always a benefit. The Corso
Yeah,
is
but
actually
this
more
that
athletic.
bite force. So I figured if that Corso actually landed one bite, it'd be done, wouldn't it? If he could
Yeah,
sink his teeth in.
I'm pretty sure the Corso has a stronger bite because they have one of the strongest bites in general.
Or two in the world.
You see, and they have better reach. They're taller. They're gonna be
Yeah.
taller. They're more athletic. So yeah, I think the Corso would win. Now, my brother-in-law, my sister, they have a Barbell that's staying with me right now, and he has I gotta keep him sedentary because I kind of see the other side. He beats up Kane. He's what 14 weeks, and Kane can't take him. And I'm like, and Kane is pretty wild. Kane can't take it. I'm like, well, if that's 14 weeks, I gotta keep this dog calm
Yeah.
because he's gonna be. His dad is 200 pounds, bro.
He gets
200.
what? 200 pounds?
His dad at least is 200 pounds. So
Shit.
in my head, I'm like, when he's a year, the goal was for me to train him and then bring him to the house well trained at a year old. That's the goal because I can't have a 200-pound dog here.
It's fucking hard, man. Like, I didn't realize until I was around one, but the XL bullies that get over like 150 pounds.
Yeah.
So my friend Haley had one. She had a couple of them. And the big one that she had, I don't remember his name now, but he was probably in like that 145, 160 range. And when he stood up, he put his paws on my shoulders and just looked me in the face. That's how like long he was.
Yeah.
And like dude like countertop, there was nothing safe in the house. I mean, granted he was behaved, but I just thought to myself, like, a dog of this caliber, with his strength and power, if he doesn't want to behave, you're not going to do anything with him.
No. I feel like early on, I was like cocky. I remember Josie one day was like, yo, if they turn on you think they could beat you? I'm like, no way. And then the more I watch, I'm like, hell yeah, they could. It's just that I just don't think they're aware they can. I don't think they know they can. I think they believe that well, I am in charge, but I think they believe that they couldn't overpower me. But
Yeah,
if they knew
you have to let them know that you're the dominant one in the house.
exactly, but if they knew that they could overpower me, or I let them believe that 100%, any one of them, like what could I do to a 130-pound bully? They're indestructible. Like a fucking juicer run into a wall at the Airbnb. That's the wall. He doesn't even feel it, right? And if you touch their head, like they have no weak spots. Everything is just like
And it's
stone.
hard. Their fucking heads are hard too. If you punch
That's
him in the head, you're going to hurt yourself more than you are him.
100%. Even like a little nick, it hurts you. You're like, what the fuck? God damn, that shit is. So you couldn't really hurt them unless you had a like Caesar Milan. He'll have the leash on them, so when they try to bite him, he'll like loop them and throw them on the floor. But if you have nothing on them, well, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, if it's
You're
you
fucked.
versus them, I think even a dog, anything past like 75 pounds, assuming that they're like in that terrier or bulldog breed,
Yeah,
anything past 75 pounds, maybe not a fat English bulldog. I can't
yeah.
picture him doing too much.
Yeah.
But like if you have a taller athletic dog, if they really want to actually kill you, and let's just say you're unarmed, there's nothing you can do.
No, yeah.
And it's going to be gruesome too. It's going to be slow.
It's gonna be bad. Kane is only about 70 pounds, And there was a situation where a dog went after him, and I didn't have a leash on him, and he went after the dog. I don't know if I told you. And I know he didn't like this, so I grabbed his tail to stop him. He turned around and bit me twice. And as I'm trying to get control, I'm like, I can't actually get control because he's so short. It's actually kind of harder. I can't get What's up, Ron? I think Ron got dogs too.
Come here.
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
So yeah, actually, he wants his walk, so I'm not going to hang. Branch, what are you doing, Puppus?
There you go.
Branch, come here. Come here.
What's the chances of that?
I know, right? Branch.
Up. Yeah, his name's Branch. Up.
You gotta
up. Branch, come here. Branch,
you got a pit?
Yeah, he's a pit. Up. He's a rescue.
He's too excited to listen.
I talked to a guy who bought a pit from a breeder. I'm like, you mother effer, how dare you? All those pits that need homes.
Man, pits are the most. When you go to shelters, it's crowded with pits.
That's all they have in them.
I'm saying it's terrible. It's terrible, and they get euthanized, millions of them every year.
But what age did you get him?
Oh, he was like 6 weeks.
Oh, okay, beautiful. Because that's the danger if you get them if you get a pit that's already older and traumatized, bring them. It's hard to bring them around your family unless you make sure they completely screened. Because you never know the trauma they've been through. But
yeah, he's had a very good life.
Yeah, I like getting them young, but for some reason we've been talking about dogs. I currently got 5 in the apartment, believe it or not.
Oh wow, jeez.
But so I got a pocket / standard bully. I got an XL bully. I have a baby cane corso female, American bulldog. Yeah, American bulldog female, and then my brother-in-law's Borbell is staying with me, but he's a baby Borbell, so he's still big, but he's a big puppy. He's gonna be at least 200 pounds, so he's gonna be somebody I probably wouldn't want to keep. I wouldn't want to keep here.
you need a bigger place. It's like Jaws. They said in Jaws, we're gonna need a bigger boat.
Yeah. When I go to Vegas and I'm in like an Airbnb, it's such a beautiful feeling because you're in the house, you just let them out, they do the thing. I'm like, this is so much easier. This is what Justin's talking about. It's so much easier this way.
Hey, speaking of that, you're coming to Vegas with us, right?
Yes, sir. I'll be
Are
there.
you bringing them with you?
If I bring one, it would be Juice. It would be the XL because he's so calm and Kane is well trained, but he likes people too much. I feel like he'll be in the house just wanting attention and jumping around. Yeah. Juice would just be chilling. So if I bring somebody, it'll probably be Juice. I don't want to bring the puppies. They're gonna shit. I'll probably bring Juice, but Juice eats a lot, so I would have to bring a lot of food.
Yeah, he's gonna be very. He's gonna be begging a lot because you're gonna have like 5 bodybuilders in one house eating
a lot of food.
You're gonna smell food all the time.
One of my friends, when she comes out for Olympia, she always brings her XL. But this girl is so well trained, bro. It's insane, and she trained herself. Like when she says okay, she turns into a puppy. Like then she'll act like I went up to her, she like this, and she said okay. All of a sudden she turns into a puppy. I'm like, she has her on command, like in a way that I've never seen. She brought her to the gas house. Imagine a XL bully just perfectly behaved like a robot at the gas house. I'm like, what the fuck? Like nobody even noticed there was a dog there because that well behaved. I'm not there yet. I gotta before I bring a dog to the gas house. I gotta make sure the fucking.
Yeah.
I don't want to get kicked out of the fucking but yeah, I mean they're the best, man. They're the best. Ron, are your pit bulls like? Did you train them like 100% or kind of?
No, pretty poorly. He can sit. That's about it. He'll come when you call him. He'll sit. But he's reactive towards some dogs. Like I can't bring him to dog parks anymore. Most of the time he's fine, but once in a while he wants to kill another dog. But
I don't like dog parks.
And
no, not a fan.
If he goes back to we boarded him a couple times when we went away, and the last time he got in a couple fights, and we went to Australia 2 years ago, and they called us and said, "You got to get your dog." I said, "I'm in Australia. I can't come get my dog." And they said, we're going to have to muzzle him. I said, well, do what you got to do, because he got in a fight and he hurt another dog pretty bad. But he's fine with 90% of dogs, and just once in a while, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, something to set them off. I don't like dog parks, man. I'm not a fan of dog parks
I don't like it
because
either. I won't go.
because even, and I'm at West Hollywood. People are dog lovers here, but they don't know how to love dogs. They think loving a dog is just kiss them and say good boy, no matter what they do. There's no correction. They bark at me. They try to bite me. They're like, ah, ha, ha, ha. I'm like, why are you laughing? Your dog is trying to bite me. Like, can you tell him not to do that? Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? So it's like, I trust my dogs, but I know my dogs will defend themselves if another dog tries to attack them.
Exactly, and that's where it becomes a problem.
That's how I got bit by my own dog, because another dog is attacking him, right? So I don't want those problems. So I let them play with each other. I take them out. I play fetch with them. They do the weight vest when they walk. But the dog parks, I try to stay away from it, man. I gotta be honest with you. Yeah, I don't mess with it. And I live right by one of the best dog parks, but I don't think it's gonna work out for me. You know. As far as how many dogs you got, Ryan?
Just that one, just him.
Oh, okay. And then Justin, you
I'm an amateur dog owner.
I'm at
and we got
three.
Okay. And what do you guys do when you travel? Because I've been having a tough time with that.
Mom and Dad thankfully live like close within the vicinity where I'm at. So depending on if it's a day trip, I may just say, hey, can you guys swing by at like 2 or 3 o'clock or whatever? Let them out, give them something to drink, feed them. But if I'm going to be gone for a couple of days, I just load up the beds. The Frenchie's got some medication. I just load everything up and I take it over there. And then they have a French bulldog as well, and everybody gets along. So my dogs are house trained, and they don't screw too much. Well, I say they don't screw to them. They don't screw too much shit up. But they're not too much of a problem.
The issue I have is my dogs don't necessarily listen to other people. They listen to me. Like, do you guys notice that? Like, they don't really listen to other people like that.
My Frenchies, they're very good. Tyson don't even listen to me half the time. He's a handful, man. He's a fucking handful.
Yeah. Does your pit listen to other people if you take him to somewhere else, Ryan?
Why would he? That's not his master. Why would he?
Exactly. Bro, when I go to like the vet, and they're like, "Oh, we'll take him from here," I'm like, "Can you please let me just go with you, because he's not gonna listen to you, man." And they come back and he's acting crazy. I'm like, "You see, like, just let me come, with you, because he's not gonna show you guys any respect whatsoever." And it's always the same thing. When he had to get neutered because he had prolapse in his penis, so like he had a penis popped out from the inside. Oh. And then after the surgery, they're supposed to stay a couple of days. And they called me the same night, like, "Can you pick him up?" I'm like, "Everything okay?" They're like, "Yeah, he's a handful." I'm like, "Is he coming from anesthesia? Shouldn't he be calm?" "Yeah, he's not very calm. He's kind of freaking out." And I'm like, "Okay, I come." And I came, he was like in a different mode. I think he thought he was kidnapped or something. He was in defense mode, like in a corner, like, "Let's go." And I'm like, "God, you people, they're not trying to kill you, bro." Like, but he was like, I've never seen him like that. He was ready to fight. He didn't like it. He didn't trust anybody there. And I'm
he
like,
woke up with fingers, so
yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that you guys luckily you called me, because somebody's gonna get bit. Like, if he's acting like that, somebody's gonna get hurt. So yeah, just leave him below, and I'll come back and get him.
Did he take his penis?
Yeah, they took his balls, man. They took his balls.
Oh, his balls. We still got his penis. Okay.
No, yeah, he still got his penis, but
you don't need balls anyway.
I mean, that kind of dog, man, I gotta be honest. I mean, he don't need his balls, because he still tries to hump other dogs even without his balls.
Wow.
So he's like a dog. Like, honestly, part of me feels bad, but I'm like, nah. I think we're gonna live a better life this way. He was too much with the balls, But all right, enough dog talk. I don't know if people like dogs. Some people don't like dogs. Let's talk. Let's talk bodybuilding. The North Americans is on their way. Yeah, let's. Oh, you. Oh, well, I'm sure you probably got clients
I
in
got
there.
one guy in the show, and it's finals is probably. I think final starts in like 45 minutes.
Oh
Well,
shit.
guess who popped up? The first person to pop up was your
Yeah,
client.
yeah,
I'm
that's cool.
assuming. Yeah. What weight class?
He's a super heavy. He's about 255.
Oh, damn. Okay, yeah. Well, he's in shape. He's
Yeah.
in shape. How can I
Yeah,
find?
we need some fine tuning. His back is not his strongest point, but
Okay,
outside of that, I can't help but think. I mean, his posing is also not his strongest point either.
okay. At this point, Justin, are you pretty like can you tell where somebody's gonna land? Are you pretty accurate with that, like in your head?
I was thinking we're probably going to go as depending on who's there. I don't really look like I don't go looking at previews like what you're doing right now, just
Yeah,
because half the time when you see someone's preview, it don't translate to the stage.
bro.
So I figure just based on my experience in the sport, we'd probably be somewhere like third through seventh. And I think he's actually looking at like eighth or ninth.
Bro, tell me, like, without calling any names, I saw a couple guys coming into the USA's and online. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker, this is a top 10 Olympian motherfucker. And then in person, I was like, I'm like shocked. I'm like, he's like, he was like pretty small, bro. Like not in a bad way, but way smaller than you would think. He just in pictures, he's translated like he was 6 foot, 280, and I'm like, what the fuck? That's the same guy.
And that's where a lot
Pictures,
of people miss. Like when that happens, when those guys are, they look the way they look on Instagram, and then they don't place where people expect them to place. They want to start blaming everything they can blame on it, but the reality is they're better on Instagram than they are when they stand beside a real bodybuilder.
yeah,
Actually, let me rephrase that because that's a horrible thing. I don't want to say a real bodybuilder, but let's say someone who is on a higher level than them.
Yeah.
Because remember that Asian guy that went from 212 to open? And he did both Tampa and Texas.
yeah. He looked
You
great. He
see
looked
him by
phenomenal.
himself, it's like how could this guy not be in the top five? And then when you see him
Yeah,
beside other people, he's just not anywhere near big enough.
Mm.
yeah. He looked pretty impressive in the solo one. But okay, the first call out. What's this? Heavyweight. What would you say is the most competitive class usually? Like stack lineup. Would you say heavy? That's
Usually
it.
heavy or light heavy, if I had to guess.
Mm.
Like as a whole. It doesn't mean there's not a super heavy that can come in and take it. But when you say stacked lineup, I'm thinking like the top five is like, you know, you really got to be nitpicky on who you're going to choose here. It's probably going to be light heavy or heavy.
Yeah, I think
I
this
always
is sick.
say
This
that
is
yeah, I
uh-huh.
just the one thing I've noticed about the super class all these years at the national shows is there will be 2 to 4 really good guys, and then the rest of there's never more than like 10 or 15 usually. The rest of them are usually guys who are just really tall, and that's why they're over 225, or they should have dieted down to under 225, but they wanted to stay big
Yeah.
and full. It's
Yep.
it's
Yeah,
rare that you see at the amateur level somebody in really awesome shape over 225 with great structure, shape, condition, all that, because that's a pro.
exactly. You basically said it. They would have been pro already. When you see a super lineup where like they're all in shape, there's like structural flaws for some reason. They're like, wow, everybody's in shape, but they don't have good muscle bellies. Maybe top to bottom isn't balanced, right? So they're shredded, but then there's structural flaws, or you have genetic fucking freak who's just not far way off of shape, right? It seems to be like a thing because the amateur ranks is not a freak show. It's really just trying to come on stage in shape with a pretty good structure and not flat as a pancake, right? It's like you basically got to hit everything pretty good, but you don't have to like blow everything out though. You don't have to be the biggest guy. You don't even have to be the most peeled guy. You should try, but you got to have a good You know the look when you see it. It's a good polished look. The tan is good. The skin is tight. Everything is where it needs to be. But Sid actually is kind of showing what I'm saying. He's in really good shape. He's full, He's
Is
round. He has.
Sid in the center on this call out, or where's he at?
It's. I don't know at what point of the lineup this is. At what point of the if they moved him around, but it would be hard for me to believe if he wasn't towards the middle, just because. I mean, he has all the tools.
That'd be hard to think him in 4th or 5th place here, but
yeah, I don't think he. I don't think he would. This guy looks pretty good from here.
This Sid guy, I mean, that's the first person my eyes are drawn to, and I don't even know. I really don't even know who he is.
Yeah, he's just in shape. He's full.
He's been around for a minute, and he's always on point. He's always on track, and he has like I don't know if I've seen him less than like a 4th place finish. Like since I've really known who he is, he's always been like in the top 3.
Yeah,
he just so happens he gets in a lineup where there's always like that one freak that comes in.
That's that gotta suck a little bit, man. When you're good enough, but you're always like second, third, like that gotta be annoying as fuck, you know. This guy looks.
Yeah, I mean, like I remember. You remember Keith Williams?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah.
Keith must have gotten like 7 or 8 like 2nd and 3rd place finishes before he finally got his pro card.
Yeah.
Like at that point, I don't know if I would have been able to continue on because that's a hard pill to swallow. I mean, I don't think he got screwed. Just so happens there was just one person that was better than him the whole time.
Yeah, and it doesn't even mean that they're gonna stay better than you. You might end up passing all of them as a pro, but just sometimes getting. I mean, like Nick had a hard time getting to pro, and once he turned pro, he beat everybody. But Nick, it's like just
Walker.
Yeah, Walker.
Well, I think Jansen had him pull out of the show. I don't remember which one it was. Nick turned pro in 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
but I think he could have won and probably won in 2019 as well. And then that's when him and Jansen linked up, and I think he could have won with his 2019 physique. Prior to that, I don't think he was quite complete enough to do it.
You remember when he lost to Zach Merkel?
Yeah, didn't he get second to Zach or something like that? 2nd or 3rd?
Yeah.
Zach's just a bigger guy, and he's structurally superior. But now Nick will go through Zach.
Yeah. Because a lot of people, like you would say, well, he got robbed. But you look at it, you like, I mean, he's more muscular and freakier looking than Zach. But Zach is, I mean, he structurally was a lot bigger, and he had really good shape and condition. I mean,
and that's the thing is like, I don't know if you remember this back in 2017, I prepped Sean Smith for North Americans. And so it would have been, was that 8 years ago to the day? Mm-hmm. And Seth Shaw ended up winning that show. And no, I think Sean ended up 4th, but like I've never seen anyone, and I love Sean, but I'm just speaking the truth here on this. He can't pose with the shit. And when I say he can't pose with the shit, not only is the posing bad, at that point in time, he couldn't hold him for more than like, I mean, I don't know if he went a full round without getting gassed. So, I mean, you can't do that. Like at a national show, like you got to be able to pose. I think you should be able to pose at least 3 rounds without cracking sweat. If you can do that, you can hold your own. But he was kind of upset that Seth beat him because, Sean was like the meat house there. He was the big guy. He was like lots of muscle. Seth was a little taller, but structurally, Seth brought it, and he was in shape. So I didn't have a problem with Seth winning that.
Yeah.
And I think Zach ended up in 2nd at that show, surprisingly, because Zach did that show too. And I don't know if I had Zach in 2nd that time, just to be fair. But if you're comparing apples to apples on that, Zach and Seth are both a little bit taller, while Sean's a little shorter and thicker. So maybe that was why Zach ended up, because of who he was standing beside.
Who do you guys think? I feel like Ron may have probably been to definitely been to more amateur shows than me and Compton. And
he's been to more shows in general than both of us.
I'm almost 56, so yeah.
For sure. Who do you guys think, or who, in your opinion, is the best amateur bodybuilder you've ever seen on stage as an amateur at like the national level?
Who never turned pro?
But no, they might have turned pro, but the best amateur physique, like this amateur, is the best amateur I've ever seen at this time.
Flex Wheeler.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't think about that. If you go back in those days, they were all ready to be like they were literally top Olympians right after they turned pro.
I would have probably said Tom Prince.
Oh my god, that side chest is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, in those years, the whole, if you go look at the 90s, the USA and the Nationals, look at the people who didn't, the guys who were like second and third most of the time were worthy of being top 10 in the Olympia even then. Back then, if you won the USA overall, which is the only way to turn pro for the first half of the decade, or you won the Nationals overall, you were already like top 5 or top 6 Olympia, like immediately.
Yeah, it wasn't. When people say it was harder to turn pro, it wasn't harder. It was impossible. You unless you were one of the best in the world, literally, you could think about that. You have to be literally a top 10 Olympian to even turn pro. Like that. That's impossible. Nobody's turning pro unless you're like one of the best fucking all time. Like I almost think that was too hard. I think somewhere in the middle we need.
I'm going way too back for your younger viewers, but look at Matt Mendenhall, look at Edgar Fletcher, look at Rory Liedlmeyer. There's probably a few.
All these names.
It's disgusting to me that it really actually makes me mad that they never turned pro. When I see people walking around with IFBB Pro in their bios on Instagram that look like just anybody in my gym. Like some people have gotten incredibly lucky. Like they couldn't even. I know people who couldn't even win regional shows in my area. They couldn't even win their class at like the New England, and they have a pro card now. These are people that were taking like 4th, 5th place over and over again at like the Jay Cutler Classic, and now they're a pro.
That happened.
You know?
I mean, even a guy like Palumbo, like somebody. Yes, he didn't have like a pretty physique, but anybody that muscular and conditioned. Yeah. I mean that's a pro. That's a pro.
He would have been pro in today's time. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he got second. He got second nowadays. I mean, there are second place. I don't like second place pro cards. I think at least your weight class. Not the Nationals is pretty.
I agree with you.
Not that. Like last year, I felt like the second place guys actually did deserve their pro card. But they're gonna get it anyways. You just don't have to get it then. Just come back and you'll get it, right?
It goes back to the phrase. I don't know who started this phrase, but don't chase the pro card, chase the pro physique.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Yeah.
Look, I'd rather look like a pro and be an amateur is to have my pro card and look like an amateur.
100%. Well, like Ron said, we remember Matt Mendenhall. We don't remember these pros that turn pro. That we're not going to remember them. Like nobody's going to remember them, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. Even if you look the part and you get second, it's okay to lose. Sometimes losing is a good thing. It makes you better when you lose, right? Like you lose, and you're like, I'm never going to lose again. You come back better. If you just win and you're like, oh, I got the pro card anyways, I don't think you're going to go as hard. First of all, so. It's okay to come back next year. I think first place in your weight class is more than enough. I don't think
nothing really changes. Like if you're a bodybuilder at heart, like you're not like the only thing changes is like again your status, but you're still going to be training just as hard. You're still going to be trying to improve just as much. Because you're trying to move to that next level, regardless of whether you're an amateur or pro. So like. The guy who got second, if you take the pro card out of that out of second place, he's still going to be training just as fucking hard when he comes back next year.
100%. Or after every USA I do, right? Like people ask, well, what are you going to change or what's something like? Nothing changes. You're going to come back. The goal at least is to come back bigger and harder every single time. Whether you got second place, third place, whether you won your pro card, it's going to be the same thing going into the next year. You're going to be bigger, harder, better. My attitude
never changed after any show I did, whether I won or whether I lost. Like right after the show, it was back to work, back to the drawing boards.
you're either
Even
pissed you
like in the
lost.
shows I won, like I wasn't satisfied because I feel like when you become satisfied, you're no longer really a bodybuilder. Like if you're just cool with keeping what you got, like
That's it.
I feel like you lose that hunger, you lose your ambition.
Yeah, well, you're either pissed you lost and you want to come back better, or you won and you go into the next level and you got to be even more better.
Yeah, exactly.
So nothing changes, and I think it's only a rush if you don't love it. If the status is all you're chasing, you may not really love bodybuilding. Like nobody wants to continue to just come back and lose. I'm not saying that, but if the status is more important than the bodybuilding part, then maybe you don't love it as much as you think you do.
Yeah.
Because you should be able to come back. Now, I want to ask this question as well. Let me see if it's on the screen. I already asked it on Instagram, but I want to see you guys. You guys can see this?
Yeah, I can see it.
Not going by this picture in particular, just in general. Who do you think had the best hands class, most muscular? Is it? I mean, I'm assuming it's probably going to be out of these two, but if it's not,
Ron probably had a chance to see Kevin. You may have saw Kevin on stage in his prime. I don't know. I did not. I mean, I competed with Kevin in 2016, but I was a 51 or 52-year-old Kevin. That's not the same.
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious that people said he was going to come in and beat us all, and I just kind of rolled my eyes. I mean, he looked great. But
didn't Palumbo say that? I think Palumbo said that.
He said he thought he was going to win the show.
Who said that?
Palumbo did say that.
Yeah. Palumbo said that Kevin Levrone was going to win the 2016 Olympia.
Yeah, he did. He said on record. I think that was obviously a very emotional prediction. I mean, he looked phenomenal.
I'm sure there's a lot of emotion involved in that because I'm sure him and Kevin have a great relationship, and Kevin was obviously one of the best to ever do it, so I can't take that from him. But at 52, you're not winning the Olympia.
Yeah. I mean, Compton, you're a good friend of mine, but if you came back at 52, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you. Well, you look great, but I don't know. I don't know about winning the Olympia.
Yeah, exactly. But I think Kevin's also just getting his supplement company started, so it was actually a good move on his part to be able to put his name out there and get that kind of hype behind him. Doing that show. So, like, I don't think Kevin went to that show expecting to win. It's probably more of a business move. It's kind of like when Jay lost, when he tore his bicep. And not only that, Phil, now you're looking at primetime Phil. You may come back and take out Dexter just because Dexter was a little bit smaller statured guy, but trying to knock Phil off when he's in his prime, no. But that's when he started the Jay Cutler Signature Series. So it worked out good because he had the in the trenches videos on MD every week, so it gave him a chance to promote himself and promote his line right before he officially pulled the plug and retired.
Yeah. Well, okay, so Ron, who you got in this most muscular? If you're a judge,
they're both. I gotta say they're both phenomenal, but I give it to Kevin. Just I like that the width, the clavicle width, just makes it that much more impressive. He's. Phil, when he hit that pose, you could see the pecs are all bunched up together. Phil, I was a huge Phil Heath fan. I was a huge Levrone fan. But to me, Kevin owned that pose. Like, I called that pose for a long time the Levrone. I didn't even call it class. I said, you're going to hit the crab or you're going to hit the Levrone or the hands and hips? Which way are you going to hit it?
From a lot of the comments, I think some people mistook the question as far as because I bet you said it was a tie to me, but I would give it to Phil because he was a more balanced bodybuilder. He was more complete. But I think people took it as more of who's better.
Obviously, better bodybuilder. Yeah.
Obviously, Phil is a better bodybuilder. Like you can't act that way. It's just in this specific pose, not talking about balance or completeness, just who's most muscular do you think is better? But better is subjective, whether it's freaky or whatever, but who has the better most muscular? That's it. Not more balance, not more condition, not who's gonna win in a show, because that would be the obvious answer. But just this pose, who's better? And who did you have, Justin?
I got Phil just because I personally, I know his legs are bigger. Levrone, I think that's just a bad lighting or quality because Kevin didn't have like it makes his legs look smaller here than what they really were.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it did.
I think Kevin did have better legs than what this picture shows,
He did.
but like the bubbliness of Phil's arms and shoulders is kind of what grabbed my attention. Like I don't know why when I'm looking at that picture, I continue to look to the right. I continue to go back to Phil.
Yeah, but I actually found a better comparison picture because I googled it. Let me see. I think this is a better. Maybe I could pull it up. I think this is a better comparison because it stays shots for both of them.
Yeah,
But
I mean, if you have the better shots where Levrone is like at his peak, at his prime on stage, I'd probably give that pose to Kevin. But just comparing those two here, I'm going Phil. But like, it would have been interesting to see those two in their prime. Imagine planting Phil back in the '90s or taking Kevin and putting him in. If you put Kevin in today's bodybuilding, it really wouldn't be fair to the guys today.
it's really the it's really the back, but I guess that's why Kevin didn't beat Dorian or Ronnie is really the back because
Yeah.
the front and side, I think he could beat
Kevin hung with both of
anyone.
them very, very well, if not beating them on front and side.
Yeah. And then his back wasn't bad. It's just that, we be talking about Dorian and Ronnie or even
The
Phil.
two best backs probably ever.
Exactly. You add Phil in there, the three best backs, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
most people don't. Yeah. So that's where you give up ground. But from front and side, Kevin is phenomenal. Even anytime Kevin even lost a flex, I think it was more of the back than anything. Even though Flex's front is amazing as well. But overall, okay, so that's another one. Overall, who do you think was a better bodybuilder between Kevin and Flex? Because they traded a lot of shows.
Flex.
I think it comes down
Flex
to who was better on that day, like because they both, if you could put them both at 100%, it's going to be Flex at 100%. But the problem was Kevin was a little bit more consistent than Flex.
I agree.
Therefore, Kevin probably beat him more times than not.
Anytime Kevin wasn't peeled, it was almost like a choice to come in super full. Whereas Flex didn't come in peeled very, very many times.
That
Other than
could have had that Arnold the year. It was like Ron was this 92 or 3 when he won the Arnold, and he was just insane.
Yeah. That's the most. A lot of people think that's the best he ever looked, and he was 216 pounds there.
That may have been one of the best. That may have been my favorite look of any bodybuilder of all time, any generation, any era. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to replicate that at the Olympia. I think if he could have, he would have gotten Dorian.
Yeah.
Yeah. They traded qualities too. Like Flex was a 10 out of 10 of prettiness, right? While Kevin was pretty too, so Kevin was still like maybe an 8.5 in prettiness, and then you take like freak factor, and then Kevin is a little more freaky than Flex, so like pretty free, one consistent condition. Kevin was more consistent, size pretty even, but Kevin was may have been denser. I don't know.
I think if you look back at the photos and stuff and the videos, when Dorian started winning, I think everyone started chasing size and scale because if you look at like the early 90s, Flex, Dorian, Sean, I'm going to kind of exempt Sean from this, but he's not 100% exempt from it. I think they knew because Dorian being the champ, they had to be bigger. And when they got bigger, the conditioning just wasn't as good as it was like in their prime. In my opinion. Sean was a little bit more consistent with his conditioning, but there was a few times Sean slipped as well.
Even Ronnie was more peeled in 98 and 99 than he was,
Yeah.
later on.
As he got bigger, his conditioning wasn't as good.
I mean, my favorite Ronnies were still 98, 99. Personally, those first 2 years were still my favorite
Yeah.
Ronnies.
Yeah, I like that 98 look. That was a shock factor. Nobody saw that coming as well.
2001 Arnold, he looked pretty damn great too.
He
I
did.
looked at videos. There was a video of like almost like from the side of the stage that I saw that was just it didn't look it looked AI, to be fair.
so so he's not even literally he's not even flexing his glutes, and he has striated glutes. Whereas later on, he didn't really have the glute. See, he's not even flexing in his fucking peeled. So this is his best condition for sure because he wasn't somebody who got peeled glutes and hamstrings. You know, um, do y'all think his kidneys played any role in him not coming in as dry later on? Possibly.
It could have possibly. I think he got diagnosed in what 99 or 2000, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have been an underlying issue, and he just didn't know it.
Because
I was thought it was the opposite, that they're drying out all the diuretics, because he was infamous for relying on diuretics at the very end. And when he was 2 days out, 3 days out, he starts slamming the Lasix and this and that and the Aldactone. And he was hospitalized a few times right after, like immediately before or immediately after shows. And I always wondered if that exacerbated the FSGS is the disease that he has.
It had to have played a role in it.
Yeah, it had to have.
It couldn't have helped. It couldn't have helped. Put it that way.
No, yeah. I mean, genetics are always going to be the key factor because a lot of people have abused diuretics and they're fine, and then you may not be fine because you don't have those kind of kidneys that could support that.
Depends on how far he took it too. I mean, with his food, his water, his sodium. Like if he hit it from every single angle, I mean, it's going to affect him.
Yeah, yeah. If you even watch some of the battle for the Olympias, the Gold's Venice guys, they seem to really pull hard at the end. Like you'll see them, they're completely different people from 2 weeks out to stage. Like the amount of
I can tell you, Brady, that I saw him in Venice several times. A couple weeks out from the shows, I'm like, oh no, oh he blew it. He's not going to make it. He's way off. And then I'd see him at the show, face all sucked in. And I talked to him, and he said I dropped I didn't get into the exact what did he take in doses, but he would tell me 15 to 20 pounds in the 24 to 48 hours before a show was pretty common for him.
Wow,
that's all water. I'm getting. You're not losing any fat in 24 hours.
Yeah, that's a lot.
You don't.
I remember in 2013, everyone was saying that Rolly was going to be like 20 to 25 pounds heavier that year. And I said, well, that's cool. I'm going to beat him then because he's going to be fat. And I remember the press conference was like 2 days out. And I saw him and his face was kind of puffy. And you know how Rolly is on stage? His face is usually like kind of eyes and shit. And it creates like wrinkles on his face because the skin is so thin. And then I saw him at the press conference. I was like, yeah, he's fat. I've got this. And I'd be willing to bet he came down 20 pounds in 2 days.
Jeez.
Because when he was backstage, it was not the same guy that I saw 2 days prior. And as soon as he took his jumpsuit off, I was like, oh, I'm fucked.
Why do that? Why not just come down and be ready? Like why do this?
I mean, he wasn't like 100% conditioned, but it was enough to embarrass everyone else.
Yeah. I would see Sean Roden. I don't believe he actually used that right. So I just believe he got so fat in the off season that it just took him that long, to get in shape. I think he was just so far off condition that you would see him and it was like barely looked like an amateur bodybuilder, let alone an Olympian. And then every week you're like, oh, okay. He's trying to fill out the tracksuit. He's filling out more, getting leaner. And then it would be like night and day every week, new person. And then, but it was gradual. It wasn't like he was just out of shape and then last week
he was in shape. Putting on tissue and losing fat at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume off season he just fucked off, but he just wouldn't train or anything because that's just too far of a thing. But what if he
I was
did?
always told he would completely drop everything, like no TRT, nothing.
It looked
Like
like
he
it.
went
I believe so.
completely off and then just ate like shit.
Hey,
I mean,
why?
it kind of, if you look at his physique versus what I said, it kind of looks like that too, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, it did. Yeah, it did. I want to know why they let him guest post that year in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
I think Jim should have put a hand on his shoulder, and be like, I appreciate the effort, but let's the champ.
yeah.
Let's
Let's not do this. Like if I would have saw that backstage, if I was Jim, I would be like, Sean, we need to chit chat.
yeah, hey, come in for a second now. Just how about you just give a speech? Yeah, let's go with a speech this year. Yeah. I mean, like, not everybody looks phenomenal off season. But Brandon Curry looked like he would come off too. He would get a little softer, but you can still see like you can see some structure going on. You see something
Yeah,
going on.
Sean was a mess that year.
It was wild, but then he comes and wins, man. That's insane, bro. It's insane. But what if he didn't do that? What if he was one of those guys? What if he was like Joe and he was like no cheat meals in the rebound and perfect off season? Like how insane he already won the Olympia, but how insane could he have been, or would he have just burned out? Because we don't know these people's mental state. So I think some people do burn out.
Hey, I'm gonna take my dog's been waiting this whole time to go poop. So.
Do your thing, man. I appreciate you
Right,
for
thanks,
coming on, man.
guys. Good talking to you
Yeah.
guys.
Always nice talking. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Do you think he would have been that much better? Oh, there you go, big man.
Yeah, he's got to get in it every time, man.
Is he the black try, right? Or black and fawn?
I was a blue, but I really
Oh,
don't.
I'm sorry. Yeah, blue try or blue fawn, something like
Yeah,
that.
he's a pain in the ass.
How much does he weigh?
Here because he wants to investigate if there's any food on the countertop.
He wants to see what's.
And I think he's getting like I should have never done this, man. Like I let him up on my knee like this because I mean this countertop is pretty tall, and he's a short dog. So when I let him up here, sometimes I'll let his paws get on the countertop. And if there's food here, now he knows where it's at. He can physically see it. Well, one day it was like last Saturday, I was coming back from Port Charlotte, and I stopped at stopped at a steakhouse. I took the bread home with me, and I was going to give them some pieces of the bread anyway between the three dogs. Come on, Tyson, let's get down, buddy. I was going to give them some anyways, and I had it in the bag. And I specifically, if you put it on the edge of the counter, because he can reach the edge of the counter, I put it in the center of the countertop, and I walked away to the bathroom. I come back, and again, it was like a piece of bread that was maybe like 3-4 inches long, like like they give you a loaf. I ate like 3/4 of the loaf myself, and I brought it home. I was just going to kind of give some of it to the dogs. And I saw the brown bag in the floor, and I was like, "Oh, you motherfucker! You've got up there." And of course, he ate it all. He didn't share any of it. Clearly,
no, he
probably ate it all in about 2 bites. But yeah, I guess he got up on the countertop and helped himself to it. So like we don't leave any food at all out because he will take it.
The funny part is
careful, he'll snag it out of your hand as well. Like he's kind of a food thief. Like he's not the dog. Like if you're going to hand it to him and he eats it, no. Like if you got it in your hand and if it's within his mouth's reach, he'll take it.
Go for it. There you go.
Yeah.
I was under the it might sound silly to think this, but I actually believe that because when I leave Kane out. I don't put him in a crate, and I would always come back. He would be right on the bed, like nothing ever happened. And I was under the belief that he was actually staying there for like 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
Which in hindsight, I'm like, of course he's not. Why would he do that? And then I started catching it. I'm like, the food bowl was over there. Why is it over here? I was like, are these lick marks in the kitchen? Why are the wet spots? I'm like, oh. So then for a while, I would close the door, move the keys, and then open it. And he'll be right up. And he'll be like, oh, he'll walk to. I'm like, every time I leave, he's just having a field day. Who knows
Get
what he's doing?
camera put inside.
I was gonna say that I have from the video like a day eating for Blackstone, and I put it in time lapse, and I was like, I should time lapse it because I have an old phone. I have two phones. I should time lapse it and put it right next to his bed, while I just put it like a wide angle, and just to see. I don't think he did anything too crazy because there's nothing in reach really to fuck up.
Yeah.
But I want to know what level of exploring he's doing.
Paulie had the guy I go sword fishing with, like his boat. He's got all the gear and stuff for that. So when he caught his first swordfish, I think it was his first. So a common thing that we do with swordfish is we cut the bill off and we save it. Like that's our trophy from the fish. Obviously, we eat and consume the meat, but he went all out with this. So he cuts the bill off, and what a lot of people do, they take. I'll try to speed this up. They'll take the bill, they'll put it in a crab trap, they let the crabs eat all the meat and the flesh out of it, then they kind of dry it out. That way it's not going to stink or shit. And sometimes they'll take them and they'll paint the bill. They'll paint like a cool design on it. They'll paint it blue because they're not naturally blue.
Yeah.
So he showed me the video. He paid like $400 to get that bill painted like that professionally. He sits it on the countertop, and then the video, he walks out the back door, and his pit bull just walks up there and just takes it and like chews it all to shit. And I got thinking, I was like, oh, well, I won't make that mistake when I catch my first one. So I caught my first one, and I don't live on the water, so I couldn't put it in a crab trap. I'm trying to hang it outside, and sure enough, I fucked up my swordfish bill.
Man.
First one. So, and I'm still on the hunt for the second one, and I've not caught a second one yet. So eventually it's going to happen.
Yeah. But you can't help but to love them anyways, man.
Yeah, honestly, with the mistake, the way I did mine, I didn't even get mad about it. I was like, this is probably my fault.
That's the way I've been thinking recently. Like instead of like, okay,
because it's flesh, it's fish.
Yeah. But I used to get so angry. Let's say if I would leave like a paper towel too close to the crate, and then when the puppies chew it up, I'll be so pissed. Oh my God. And I'll be yelling. I'm like, it's my fault. Like what's gonna happen if you leave? Like that's what's gonna happen. I just gotta not leave it next to them, So I'm like, scolding them is not gonna change anything. They're gonna do it again if you leave it. So I'm like, okay,
when I was a kid, we had a Chihuahua, and we used to think she was, this is what my dad would say, but it really it's not. He didn't know any better. He didn't have a lot of experience with dogs, but we called her Tiny. That was her name, because she was like the little mini Chihuahua, probably weighed like 3 to 4 pounds at most. And when we'd leave her, she wouldn't piss or shit in the house. That wasn't the problem. But when you would leave her, remember like when phone books were a thing, right? This goes to show the age, right? Like nowadays, most kids don't know what the fuck a phone book even is.
No.
She must have taken that phone book and shredded it into like 3,000 or 4,000 little tiny pieces while we were gone. And whether it be a toilet paper roll, paper towels, anything she could destroy, but it was separation anxiety.
Okay, yeah.
She would never do that while we're home. My dad just thought she was getting pissed that we wouldn't take her with us. But I was like, no, I don't think dogs get like emotional like that. But like they do get separation anxiety.
People would tell me, "Oh, yeah, your dog won't do that if they get exercise and play." And I'm like, "No, Kane.
No, they still do.
That's what I'm saying.
If it's separation anxiety, they still do.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on your personal dog's energy levels and temperament. I mean, no matter how tired Kane is, if there's the opportunity in front of him, he won't let it go. He could be like passed out, so tired. He went on a hike. He can barely catch his breath. If you walk into the house and he hasn't seen you and you're like, "Hey, Kane, let's play," he's going to play with you.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like that's not going to stop him. Or if you leave something there for them to shred, they're usually going to do it again if they're so like tiring a dog out on like on juice. It'll work for juice. If I want juice to be super calm, a little exercise, he'll just be laying around all day. But if you have a high energy dog or anxious dog or separation anxiety, those laws don't work at all.
Well, the pit bull that I had, the one that passed away last year, I knew his owner, his original owner, very well. I went to college with her, and she found herself in a bad situation as far as like moving, living arrangements, and that's ended up how I got him. And he was the biggest blessing I ever got in my life. To be fair, that dog meant so much to me. But anyway, she told me when they got him as a puppy, he had a few bad habits, but only when they were gone. So
Okay.
what they did was like he was normal when they were home. So they basically went outside, started the car, closed the doors, but they didn't leave one day. They left like the windows, like the shades, and they was peeping in the house. And he's like running all over the house, like going fucking crazy. Like he didn't know what to do. Like that's separation anxiety. And eventually they'll tear shit up or shit, piss in the house. They just drive themselves nuts.
Yeah,
I think she
I
said it
had
took him like 45 minutes before he finally settled down because they just waited and watched him.
I've only had I've had one dog with like real separation anxiety, like unbearable. He was a Bichon Frise. You know what those are?
He was what?
Bichon Frise. He was a Bichon Frise or Frise. It's like a French. They look like a toy poodle almost,
Okay, okay. I got the idea of what he's looked like then.
but they're more playful. They like to play. They're not like too much of a lap dog. They like to actually play and run around. And his separation anxiety was so bad I couldn't leave the room. Um, the previous owner told me that he had it, but I didn't realize how bad it was. Like I couldn't keep him. I couldn't keep him. Yeah, he
Hey,
would freak out.
this is off topic, but is Italy this weekend or is it next weekend?
I'm still trying to figure out when. If I thought it would have came around already. I thought they were like 3 weeks out, and it's like every week it keeps going, and no Italy. But let
I
me.
see people posting pictures of like who's doing it, and I'm like, okay, when the fuck is the show? Like you guys have been posting this for weeks.
I fucking hope is this week. I'm like, I don't know how much longer we're gonna wait. We've been waiting for this show forever at this point. I mean, I'm really excited to see what happens though.
And
You mhm.
obviously the guy that I feel like I'm going to be rooting for is going to be Quint, just because he's got second and third, and like this is his best season so far. It'll be interesting to see how he's going to look underneath Samson and his wife. I say Samson's wife. I assume keyword. If I'm wrong, then the key word in assume is ass. I'm making an ass of myself here. I'm assuming that Samson and his wife are kind of giving him some cues and some pointers along the way.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm curious to see how that's going to pan out. But then he's got multiple, like that show's kind of like it's turning out to be a pretty good show because you have him. Is it Theo's doing it? I don't know if Presty's doing it or not, but I think Quinn will be Presty. Theo's pretty good. Um, Mark
Mark,
Hector,
Mark.
Lewis Bleed.
Is it only me that finds him really impressive? I find Mark Hector extremely impressive, man.
Hector is from the front and the side poses like he's very very good. I think in the past it's been his back shots that's held him back. Unless you have a let's see. Hopefully he'll turn around to the back for us.
This
Now conditioning wise, I don't think this is his best here.
No, this was like 2 years ago. What I will say is this: if there was one place this man could take injuries, it was gonna be his shoulders because his shoulders are already crazy, and it allowed him to bring his legs up. His legs were undersized, and now, I mean, they're not peeled, but they're not undersized, right? I mean, they don't look on. His glutes are huge, quads are huge,
They
hamstrings.
look they look pretty symmetrical. But see,
Yeah,
there's one guy in the show that's throwing me off because, well, there's actually two now. I'm really curious to see how Ursa is going to look because supposedly he's going to be 30. He said he's 34 pounds, but the thing is, the show's not here yet, so you're not actually 34 pounds heavier unless you just. If he's going for a number, that's a bad move.
yeah, yeah.
But if he's legit going to be 30 pounds bigger than his classic look, I don't think it's enough to stand with like true open guys. I really don't. And and I don't not like Urs, by the way. I really do like him. I think he's a great ambassador for the sport. He seems like just a good person in general, and he's got a good physique. But like if he shows up 30 pounds heavier and it's still a size game, that goes to show people like Bumstead was the exception to the rule that most classic guys can't hang in the open.
Mhm.
And there's a few guys, I think Matt Grego could do it.
Oh yeah.
I think Grego could do it. And I also think that Summerfield, I don't think Summerfield could hang in the open, but he used to do 212, and I think he was a very good 212 competitor. But the other guy, why am I drawing a blank? He was with Patrick Tour for a little while. He went from classic to open, and he's a very dark-skinned black guy.
Stefan
Stefan, yeah, that's it.
It's hard to say unless you see them because it's like he's not a small guy. He's about 5'11". The muscle is obviously there, but it's like how is he gonna actually? And he started getting in really good shape toward the end of the classic, and it's like it's hard to say because he could.
If he plays the scale, he's screwed because he's gonna have to bring that crispy conditioning.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You never want to. You never want. It's like the 212 guys that do the best in open are the guys who are barely coming in heavier. They're just coming in. They're just not flattening out. That's it. So they'll be like.
Well, he went from classic because I think his classic cutoff was like 220 or something. I don't remember what it was. It was over 212.
Yeah. No, I was just making a parallel of like when you're coming from a division where you have to weigh in. Don't use the weight cap as like I'm just gonna blow up. It's like even with Urs, like maybe he is 260 shredded, but don't focus so much on that number. The fact that they keep saying it makes me nervous because it seems like a fixation that they have to be 260. There was a year when
Urs is gonna. I don't think he's gonna quite arrive yet in the open, and that's not me taking a dig at him because I think he has the potential to do it, and he's one of the few that could. Like, if you asked him about Ramon, I don't think Ramon could ever cut it in the open, and I like his look. I like his physique. He seems like an all right guy, but that's just I don't think he can ever make it in the open class.
What makes you say that? Like the clavicle width?
Yeah, he's not a very he's bubbly and he's round where he's at. And like he realistically, I think for Ramon to be like a top open guy, he's going to need like 40 more pounds, 30 to 40 more pounds. And I just don't foresee his frame being able to hold that and still have that same structure and that same look.
I think he would look similar to like Bruno with the clavicle width.
Yeah, he actually would be a little similar to Bruno.
The only thing is that if he packs it on in a hurry, I don't know if his waist is going to be as small as Bruno, possibly.
Well, Ramon as of right now, I don't think there's any chatter about him going to the open.
Yeah, no.
Ramon, I hope he's not doing anything dumb with this. Mm-hmm. Like, I hope he's on his fucking game because your defending champ is not coming back. And I don't think Breon's coming back either, right?
No, he wasn't. He was gonna move up, but he changed it.
Okay,
he changed it.
Yeah, but if you knock out Chris and you take out Urs, you take out two of the top 5 guys, which leaves Ramon at a high chance. But I don't think he can get past Mike Summerfield, just to be fair. But like, if he really brings it like he did 2 years ago, he might. He may have a chance against Mike.
What more are you saying?
It was looking like you did last year. Mike's just going to walk through it.
Yeah. I think Terrence by himself in these update picks, you compare it side by side, he looks like he'll give Mike a run for his money, but he's not. When he stands next to Mike, I don't think he's going to look big enough.
That's the thing. Is like whether both of these two guys have very pretty, pleasing structure. And they both get in shape, it's going to be a matter of like Arnold versus Franco. Mm-hmm. And I think where Mike is so much bigger, I think it's the thing about like Terrence has always been complete. But when he stood next to Chris, because Chris is like 6'1" or give or take somewhere in that range, like he just wasn't able to be him just due to sheer size.
Yeah.
Like if you actually want to think about what classic truly is, it's Terrence. Like he has the classic look. I mean, he's got a little bit bottom heavy for classic, but the posing and just like he has the vacuum shots, the way he, like his actual presentation on stage looks very classic compared to the other guys. But again, it's one of those things when he stands side by side next to the bigger guys, it's hard to deny that.
I've seen Terrence in the gym, like a show isn't judged in the gym, but just context. I've seen Terrence in the gym and Ramon in the gym, and Ramon in the gym looked like a bodybuilder, really. And then Terrence, with all due respect, I mean,
he's a smaller frame guy.
Yeah,
his body doesn't come to life until he takes his clothes off.
100%.
Gay as that sounds.
If you didn't know who Terrence was, bro, he looked like a like like a college like a high school football player, bro. Like with all due respect, he just looked like an athlete in like a warm up clothes, right?
Yeah,
you know, you didn't see any muscle.
Because
Obviously,
he's not the freaky big guy, so like that's why I don't think Terrence can take it. Like I think he can. I think Terrence could move potentially up into like a third place spot right now this year. I just don't foresee him actually going to number one.
That's gonna be that's.
I mean, if he did, I'd be happy and tickled to death for the guy. If he could come in and knock off like the big names, I say big names as if he's not one. He is a big name himself. But I think most eyes are on Mike. And if he comes in and knocks off Mike, I'd be thrilled for Terrence to take that title. But I just don't foresee it happening unless Mike drops the ball really bad.
Yeah. Now he should be confident. Terrence should be very confident because he's beat all those guys before.
Yeah. Has he ever beaten Mike?
Yeah. I mean, Mike was he was like a what like an 8th to 12th guy, right?
Okay, but that was before Mike really nailed his conditioning.
Yes, and for some reason when he's in shape, he looks 20 pounds heavier.
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck. Like what the fuck happened between 2023 and 2024? He said he gained like I don't know 15 pounds of tissue, and he came in leaner. I mean,
well, that's if he was able to nail his conditioning, it gave him extra leeway.
Oh yeah.
So he may actually have 15 pounds of muscle, and he's just 15 pounds harder to go with it. So it's going to be a much different look. I mean, think about like when we talk about scale. If you look at Joe from last year to this year, scale's identical, but the physique is not.
100%. Yeah, this is why I think we have to. The scale is a tool to make sure you're training in the right direction. Yeah. But once you start looking at it, like nobody should be saying that. You shouldn't be aiming for a specific weight unless if it's peak week and it's like, okay, your best look is 245. That's one thing. But if you're weeks out and you're already saying that we're going to compete at this weight, I don't think that's you shouldn't be weeks out saying that you're going to compete at this weight that's just so much heavier than if you've done it before. If like Joe, if you've already competed at 250, well, that's different. You have a better gauge. But if you competed at 220, you can't gauge.
If you want to say you're going to be 240, it's probably not going to work out right.
Yeah. Now, I don't think they're lying. I think what they're seeing is that this guy looks stage ready. But I think in actuality, when you're somebody like Urs who has shredded glutes in the off season, that can be deceiving because shredded glutes doesn't mean you're in shape everywhere else.
Exactly.
Joe is similar. Joe gets shredded glutes.
Exactly. That was the point I was going to make. Like Urs, I think because he's not anywhere near the biggest guy up there. I think the reason he gets the look and the placings that he does is because he brings like a trademark conditioning that most guys can't get near it. Mm-hmm. But that's also because he has to come down like probably 30 extra pounds on what he shouldn't have to come down.
Exactly.
So I think him and Stefan are going to be the two guys. I don't think either one of them can knock off Quint, but I'm not taking away from Quentin on this, but like my eyes are on the other two because I'm just kind of excited to see what they're able to bring and how they're going to stack up in the open.
See, this look is very different to me from this look. This looks like flattish to me.
Yeah, it doesn't look as complete.
But then this, when he gets under under those lights, man, it's like, what the fuck? It's insane. But like once
And
again, huh?
that first, but not this one, but the front double bicep, is that an old shot or is that new?
3 days ago. That wait. Let me make sure because he said classic versus open. Oh yeah, this. Okay. I see what's going on.
Okay,
That makes
yeah,
more
that's
sense.
when he sucked down the classic.
Okay. That makes so much more sense. Okay, yeah, this looks a lot more impressive. But once again, like we talk about the glutes, just because your chest is cross-striated doesn't mean everywhere in your body is also cross-striated. So we have to see. We
His
have to see
back
the
looks
glute.
like it's a little behind too.
That's what I'm saying. We have to see.
He lats at all here. Like
We
there's not a lot of X frame. It kind of goes straight up and down.
that is true. Yeah, like he's not narrow, but he doesn't have the flaring. You see, he didn't turn around. That's what makes it.
When I see guys that don't turn around, there's usually a reason why they don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would show my strengths as well on Instagram. I'm not knocking the guy for that. Like, obviously, his back is not going to be his strong suit.
They're the reason. They're the reason why you don't show everywhere. It doesn't mean it's shit. Like it's a 1 out of 10.
Yeah,
But you know it's not matching the front, right?
yeah.
You know, I think his back is decent. I don't think his back is like so bad, but he obviously is aware that it's not gonna look like his chest just looked, right? You know.
I think Urs would be the wild card coming into it. You know, I don't know if he'll be in the top five, but it's going to be close on that. Like, I think Lewis is going to be so much bigger than him and dense. And then Quint's going to be so much bigger. Theo's going to be bigger. And then after that, you know, with Mark, is he going to be on? If he's on, I mean, he's obviously going to be bigger.
Yeah,
So it's just going to depend on whether or not. I think Mark could be a wild card too because we don't know what his conditioning is going to look like.
I think so. I'm not a betting man, but I would probably bet on Quint. I'll probably bet on Quint. You know, but Justin, I got to sign up. I actually would love to stay on longer, but I try to reschedule a client for later,
Right.
and she wouldn't budge, but she's in prep, so I get it. She didn't want to change
Don't worry,
the time, so
man. I'm starving.
yeah.
About to
All right, but
me.
but perfect. Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
good. That sounds. All right, Justin. Thanks for coming on, brother. I appreciate you as always.
See you soon.